What's up, Schmoedown fans? Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm Star Wars competitor Andrew the Hunter Dimalanta.
Oh, hello, and I am Nicki Dimalanta.
And we have so much to talk about.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
Just a little peek about hurting, and I wasn't going to address this, but this is the third time we're starting this because of mistakes.
Whoops.
Whoops. But, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
Let's just jump right in.
So, first thing we wanted to talk about was the announcement.
Oh, okay, yes.
So yeah, because I don't want to harp on this because it's just a really quick announcement that Harloff addressed with obviously what's happening in the real world with the coronavirus.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's taking precautions.
Everyone's freaking out. Buying up all the toilet paper, all the hand sanitizer.
Milk? Why milk?
Milk, everything. People are just losing their minds.
Whatever, but so it's affecting everybody, affecting all kinds of sports, NBA, Major League Soccer, around the world. It's being effective, and it's bled into the Schmoedown.
Unfortunately, but
it's Houston's getting pushed back, and also the big announcement is that the free for all is no longer going to be open to fans. It's just competitors and crew.
Yeah,
and that's right. I mean, it's better safe than sorry.
Responsible decision.
It's very that's the word I was looking for.
And the thing that made me happy,
yes,
is that I don't. What day was it that Christian dropped that? Friday.
Friday, yeah.
So Christian dropped that video announcement on Friday, and on Friday, I don't know how long after he posted it, but I looked at the SCN Facebook group, the Schmoedown Facebook group. Yeah. I looked at his Twitter post. I looked at there was some other outlet where
Twitter.
YouTube.
And
I looked
Twitter,
at it on all the YouTube comments because I was kind of anticipating people being like, "You got to be kidding me! Oh my god!" But I planned my flight, my hotel.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting people to freak out because people suck.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, I didn't comb through every word of every comment, but I skimmed through every comment. I didn't see one negative thing.
Yes.
Granted, today is Saturday, and
it might have changed.
I don't know. There's probably more comments. Who knows? I'm hoping it didn't. But when I was perusing, I didn't see a single negative comment.
Yes.
Everything was not in favor. It's disappointing, but in support of Christian.
Yes,
because
it's
mission.
It's a hard decision to make that call because
decision.
He held out as long as he could. It's I don't want to close cancel events, and full disclosure, there have been matches that have been postponed because of this.
Yeah,
I'm not going to reveal what because I already know what matches got pushed back because we get call sheets as competitors, and he sent out a mass email like, hey, we have the Collider Studios is being closed because of Corona, got to push him back. But to that point, I'm glad that everybody is like, this is it sucks. Obviously, it sucks, especially the people that are planning on going to the free for all.
Exactly, I would have been pretty bummed. Yeah, and that bummed is a severe understatement. If we had already had things booked and stuff, oh man.
But
I would have been really disappointed.
It's not only the Schmoedown and everybody's being not supportive is the word I'm looking for. Understanding.
Yeah.
But airlines are like, we in light of everything that's happening, if you have to cancel, you can cancel without any fees.
Yeah.
And hotels are doing that too. So everybody's understanding. Everybody's like, it sucks, but.
However, we understand, and it was the right decision. It was the decision. It's the responsible decision. Yes. I think that's the key word.
The responsible decision because, it's not like the free-for-all is being canceled.
Right.
They're just taking precautions to where it's liability. Like Roca and everybody on SCN said, it's all these things being canceled. It's because of liability. Nobody wants to be the one that's responsible for spreading this virus even more. So I think it's good it looks good for the brand. It's saying, hey, we hear concerns. We understand we don't want to cancel things.
Yeah.
But we need to do our due diligence to make sure this doesn't get out of hand. So,
yeah, and you know what? The bright side about all of this is that the movie trivia Schmoedown isn't shut down. It's still going to happen. I mean, for people like us who, I don't know, never leave the house, it's really not going to change much for us.
No, it's not.
But, it is disappointing if you're planning to be there. The people in Houston,
you still get, and I like.
Don't feel bad. I kind of don't feel bad for you because at least it was postponed. Orlando was just canceled, so I don't feel bad.
Tampa was canceled.
Sorry, you know where my heart is. Tampa is what I meant to say. Tampa just flat out got canceled. So Houston, I don't feel bad for you because you just got postponed.
And, it's good on them too because people that were getting tickets for the free for all, you can transfer those over to Collision now because Collision is going to be in the same theater. It's going to be, obviously,
and that's another big event too.
Yeah, and this is the first time I think Collision is going to be live because in the past it's been a studio event. Now it's going to be an actual live event, so that's exciting.
At least it's transferable.
Yes.
Christian's a smart man. He knows what he's doing, and he's passionate about what he's doing.
And I would argue that if the Skybound thing doesn't happen, I have no idea how they come back from a hit like this because this is a lot of money that they're losing out on. But since the deal with Skybound, I bet there's insurance policies and things like that. So where if things like this happened, they don't lose out on a ton of money. But even still, they're still losing out on a lot of money that they would have been getting.
Unfortunately, yeah. But everybody is globally we're losing a lot.
Yeah, I know, and that's a great thing about Skybound. I think Skybound's like it's like it sucks, but we believe in your show. We believe in the brand.
Oh my God, we said it at the same time.
Jinx, poke, get me a gin and tonic.
Oh. No, I just said it bad. I just said a word.
No.
Well, I kind of said it really low.
I can bleep it out.
Cool.
Yeah, so
are we going to do that?
We could continue to try because last week we said we were going to try not to swear so much on this, say any no words. So that we let one slip.
Maybe we'll cut it out.
Maybe I'll try to cut it out.
Okay. I don't want to be the.
But anyway, so I don't want to keep harping on this because I'm sure everybody is sick of hearing about the coronavirus. We don't want to just.
I know I am. Yeah. Holy crap! It's just.
And luckily we're in one of the states where it's not a huge. We're not at a huge risk.
When you look at the CDC map, we're not dark orange or whatever.
I mean, there's been a couple of cases in Hillsborough. That's in
Manatee County. Yeah. Last I heard, I don't know how accurate this is. I heard there was like 30 cases in Florida, but I don't know if that's true.
So we're lower on the risk, but understandably.
I mean, it's
people
travel.
People
travel. Yeah. We got OIA. So
let's
20 minutes away.
Let's just go ahead and move on.
Let's just blow past this. Who's even worried about coronavirus?
Yeah, because I just don't want because it sucks. But I want.
But we're tired of hearing about it and talking about it. So
what do you want to talk? You want to talk about a match first? Or do you want to go into let's go into the Throwdown, and then we'll talk about the wheel buses because they go hand in hand. Basically.
They do. It's a nice.
So let's go ahead and get into this first match, the live Throwdown. I'm gonna just blow past that. It was live on Saturday. It didn't go public till Wednesday, so we're in the clear to talk about it now.
Yes,
plenty of time to watch this match.
So we got the Throwdown. Mm-hmm. It was the family versus Korruption.
Yes,
and just to be totally transparent and consistent, we both picked the family to win this one.
Yes, we did.
We'll see how that pans out.
Spoiler alert, the family lost.
Oh, no. So the family came out with Janine. She was the acting manager because Sam Levine wasn't there, which that's actually another big talking point. Yes. If you watch backstage later in the week when Ben and Andrew were talking about it. Anyways, let's just keep on. Can you hear our dog in the background?
Sorry,
just scratching at the couch and flapping her ears?
Sorry, we don't have an actual studio. We do this in our dining room.
Oh my God, our dog is just
going
bananas on the couch right now. So the family comes out with acting manager Janine. We can talk about that later if we are so inclined and have the time. Korruption comes out with Shannon, and I thought it was hilarious that Shannon came out wearing a shirt that said, I don't know if I'm allowed. If we're trying to not say no words. Yeah. The D word for your man bits is probably not
man bits.
It's probably not a word that you'd want your kid to be like, Daddy, what's that?
I mean, she I think they ended up taking like duct tape or gaffer's tape to cover that.
She covered it with it said Big D energy, and there was like duct tape over the I. I don't want to spell it out if your kids know how to spell. I don't want to give them those tools to build that bridge, So I just thought that was very funny. But so they came out. It was really interesting, I thought, to see Shannon trying to lay into Andrew so hard with, oh, wow, you think you're, get into his head. And also, I just think she's really running a hard bid at being heel of the year.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go toe to toe with somebody, you're gonna go toe to toe with Andrew Guy because that might as well be his award.
Yeah, but he's not technically heel anymore. So
Historically, though.
Yeah.
So she came out and she gave Andrew some Pepto-Bismol in case his tummy started to hurt.
Yeah, because he had the stomach. No, he had like food poisoning.
Yeah,
because this
forget.
was
Yeah, I think
this
it was
was
food
to be
poisoning.
taped during like the same. So this was supposed to be taped when Sean Sullivan and Adam Witt.
Right.
They weren't on the call sheet. It
And
was
that's
supposed to be
why it
then.
was kind of last minute.
Yeah, and that's why it was last minute.
So she gave him some Pepto-Bismol, and Andrew said, well, tequila and Pepto don't mix well.
Tequila.
God, tequila and Nicki doesn't mix well.
Tequila and Dimalantas don't
Yes.
mix well anymore.
I had one really bad night
I think
with
we
tequila.
both had our own nights with tequila.
Yes, they were separate nights. I was
several years
my
apart.
God.
But yeah,
I played like a drinking game by myself.
It was
which was
during that UFC match.
terrible.
We had a
Yes.
UFC night.
We had
yeah.
a bunch of friends over who were watching a UFC match, and I made a bet with myself, and I'm taking shots of tequila in the kitchen
by yourself.
myself.
You took like 3 by yourself. I have no idea what you were doing.
Bad night. I just can't do it
Yeah,
anymore.
so Dimalantas and tequila, no.
We'll save that for another podcast. We'll talk about that. Because if we're going to talk about hangovers, we're going to talk about South Korea. Am I right? We'll get to that in another podcast. Let us know if you want to hear about that crazy night.
And we'll touch. I'll bit of an announcement at the end, so remind me of that. Second podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know what that announcement is because
it's nothing big. It's just something to
okay.
do with the Patreon and second podcast. So
Okay, gotcha. Let us know if you want to hear about my drunken night in Korea. Well, our drunken night in Korea. Holy
yeah. All right, keep going.
goodness. All right, so let's get into round 1. So round 1, Andrew drinks Pepto-Bismol straight from the bottle.
God. And it's store brand one. It isn't.
Was it?
It wasn't name brand. It was store brand.
I have no issue with store brand. There's only a handful of products that I will not buy store brand. The vast majority of stuff. What's the problem? Am I right, ladies? So anyways, he drinks it straight from the bottle and he yells, "It was a gift, Mark." Because I think Mark was giving him some, hard time for it.
Oh my God.
It was a gift, Mark. And then he answered his question. That was a good moment. Chance Ellison.
A perfect round.
Your boy got a perfect round. However, he missed the bonus question.
So it's not a true perfect round.
Well, it depends on what your definition of a perfect round is.
I think you have to. I would love to have this conversation with Frankie.
Yeah.
It's like, what really constitutes a true perfect round?
I mean, technically, he got a perfect round because you don't get a bonus unless you get a perfect round. But if we're talking
flawless, I think
T to B, top, perfect round.
I want to coin this. So if you get all the original questions in round 1, you get a perfect round. But if you get the bonus, you have a flawless.
You get a perfecter round.
No, a flawless first round.
Flawless.
I think
victory.
that. I would like to.
Mortal Kombat.
I'm gonna coin that, please. If you hear somebody say flawless first round, you heard it from the hunter first.
Oh.
I'm coining that.
Boy.
But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna start saying. Perfect round as opposed to a flawless first round. No,
Yes.
No, flawless round.
And
okay.
remember how when Chance was answering that bonus question, McQueenie was staring him down. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, can I say, I forgot to touch on this.
Drew McQueenie is glowing.
Can
we just say
that? He looks
that?
fantastic.
You
told me that he said on Twitter or something that
I
he
think
was
he's on a very strict, I want to say a very strict keto diet, if I'm not mistaken.
God, isn't that? What's the keto? One of your coworkers has to do.
No,
keto.
one of my coworkers is on a very, very strict paleo diet, which is
that's
not the same.
That's the difference.
I don't really know exactly what keto is, but whatever it is, Drew McQueen is glowing.
Looks fantastic, and his
looks,
hair with his combination of his haircut and his diet.
He looks refreshed. He looks younger.
Oh yeah.
He just looks. He's killing it.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing. Oh my God.
Yeah,
not to place too much
it's a shame
value
how,
on looks.
how things panned out at the end of this. We'll get to that later.
God, wow.
Just a
Way to
shame.
bring it down.
Yeah,
Get
sorry.
it downer over here. God. So at the end of the first round, it was 13-14 in favor of the family.
Mm-hmm. And this was then after this round, I remember people talking about like this really comes down to, because we know how like when Chance is on, he's on.
Yeah.
Drew McQueenie.
He's kind of always on.
He's kind of always on, but only if with teams. He's one of the best teams competitors we've ever seen.
Yes.
Singles, not so much. I have no idea why, but it's weird that you can be so dominant in teams, but then you kind of falter in singles. But like really,
There's another character I like that, or another player like that, if I arguably. But go on, go on.
But so like it came down to how Kalinowski and Guy were going to perform.
Yes.
Because Guy missed what, 2?
I didn't actually take that.
He missed a
detailed notes
couple.
this time.
I think Kalinowski missed more than him.
Well, and actually, let's talk about the fact that, my God, this is going to be a long episode.
Yeah, just try to breeze through this.
Breeze. Oh
Yeah.
God! All
Yeah,
right,
well-
I was going to deep dive a little, not deep
No,
dive.
go ahead.
So, so you know how people are always like, "Oh, that's not hard." I knew all those questions.
Yeah.
I could beat those guys.
Yeah.
I'm so good at Schmoedown trivia.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time on the show.
And then you'd say, tell me about it once you're on the stage.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I think could really get into a competitor's head, and it really made me think about it in this match, because if I'm not mistaken, we watched this match a good several days ago.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually last week.
Yeah.
It was a week ago today.
Yeah.
Because we're recording this on Saturday.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, Ellis was on the table, and I think he said something about how,
Yeah, that's right. He had the comment.
Andrew Guy, his first round really sets the tone for the rest of the game. If he has a good first round, it's a great game. If he has a bad first round, he just,
Yeah.
That's got to get in your head.
And
if you're
and
sitting
I-
on the desk
yeah.
and you're like, wow.
And I think Andrew Guys said as much on backstage, where it's like, God, like it's kind of distracting. If you can't hear them like normal sportscasters, then whatever, say whatever you want.
Yeah, but it adds a whole new layer to hear someone.
I almost dropped a no word.
Oh,
But but yeah, so it has to, because they're sitting like right in front of you, and like and I don't want them to stop doing this, because that's like little nuggets that like I think play into the game. It's just hard as a competitor to hear that and try to stick in that mindset. So
but Andrew and Drew, Guy and McWeeny,
yes,
they both looked very relaxed round one, and
Yes.
it was really nice to see.
Yeah.
Especially considering how they ended the last season.
Yeah.
It was very refreshing to see the family looking the way they looked and how comfortable and relaxed they looked.
yeah.
Mike Kalinowski, on the other hand, in my opinion,
He looked a little
looked a little rattled in round one.
Because he missed like what, 3? I think he missed 3 questions.
A good couple. Chance was the one that was really performing that
Yeah,
first.
he was-
Obviously, you got a perfect round,
Yeah.
minus the bonus. But Mike Kalinowski, he did not look like Mike Kalinowski that first round.
No, he didn't.
So,
And first match of the year, so maybe first match
year.
eaters.
And also, he didn't really end last season.
Yeah, lost both his
Ideally
belts.
either.
Yeah, and lost his IG belt in dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
So
Let's, we're going to round two.
Round 2.
There's still 2 more rounds.
Yeah.
So round 2, the family defers to Korruption.
Oh.
Korruption gets spinner's choice,
And
and
they
they
go
pick DCEU.
DCEU or DC? No, it's DCEU. Sorry,
DCEU.
Yeah.
They got a perfect round 2. They didn't even go to multiple choice.
And
Just
can
killed it.
And can I say how ridiculously easy that Zack Snyder question was?
Well, don't remember it, but I'm sure
It was
you're right.
who directed Justice League or something, or Batman v Superman. It was something stupid like that. Like, really?
Yeah.
Really? Even for a non-IG competitor, that's not a second round question. That's a first round question. So I was like, we'll get into this later about how like IG categories on singles and teams division wheel slices.
Yeah.
But like, if you're gonna put it on there, they have to be appropriate second round questions. This was a first round question at best.
Or like a speed round question or something.
Yeah, something like that. Because like this, like, who directed Justice League? Are you kidding me? Really? Like, it was so insanely easy. It's like it's almost insulting to put that in the second round.
I didn't know.
For any competitor.
Such a
I mean, I don't know.
And one thing that I did make a note about is that I just think that in favor, even though I picked the family to win, in favor of Korruption, I just believe that they in round 2 displayed beautiful chemistry as a team.
Yeah.
They obviously, Kalinowski is
Knew
very much in
almost all of
control
them.
with DCU.
Yeah.
They know every single one of them, sometimes even before the question was fully out of the announcer's mouth.
Yeah, they kind of jumped up in their seats like, oh yeah.
Exactly. Like you could tell they knew it before the whole question was even out. But instead of being like, oh, Zack Snider, and just trying to, flex, they took their time. They conferred with each other. And even though Kalinowski, for all we know, he could have answered every single one of those questions
By
without
himself.
Chance there at all.
Yeah.
Chance could probably have answered some of those questions without Mike there at all.
Definitely the Zack Snyder question.
But the fact that they took their time and they made sure that they were on the same page with each other for every single question, I just think was a beautiful demonstration of team chemistry.
They're former champions for a reason.
Exactly.
That's the perfect example of why.
So I thought that was something of note.
Yes.
So the family goes, they get Coen brothers. Who are they? All right.
This is the second time this has been spun.
Well, still don't know who they are. What have they even made? Name me one movie.
Don't ask me these. You're gonna make me show my cards.
Oh, I mean, they didn't make a Star Wars, so they're all right. So they got Coen brothers, whoever they are. They went to multiple choice one time. They missed it, and it got stolen.
Yeah, and Andrew was very upset about this. Not me.
Right.
He was so upset about how and I get.
I don't know if I actually wrote.
It was because it was the Coen brothers wrote but did not direct this film, and I can't remember what year. And it really came down to what year it came out because
there were two war movies.
It was Bridge of Spies, and I can't remember what the correct answer was.
Yeah.
But I remember guys saying like the difference between these two, everything that checks off the box, wasn't directed by them, written by them, and came out in this year. The difference between the years was Bridge of Spies. I think the correct answer came out a year before. So it's kind of like, all right, checked all these boxes. I was thinking it was Bridge of Spies. Okay, checked all those boxes, Bridge of Spies.
Right.
But then but to that argument, I was thinking there. I kind of lost my train of thought.
Oh no! Well, I remember on
Hot State with a Babe.
Oh God, wow! Andrew just made a very obscure Seinfeld reference there.
Every time I lose my train of thought, I always go to that.
Lost my train of thought. Very obscure Seinfeld reference for all of you Seinfeld.
But I think what I was trying to get at was I think the problem we had with this is like that very same fact. It's like those movies came out so close together, and when you put them both in multiple choice, it's almost like you're trying to trick the opponent, and it's like a trick question almost.
And the interesting thing is that on Backstage later in that week, they actually had PJ call in to Backstage.
Wrote the question. I think he wrote the question.
I don't know if he was the one who penned the very question.
Well, he's one of the writers, yeah.
He's one of the writers. And, something that I very much respect is that they didn't fight. They didn't argue. It was a very adult and measured conversation where I think, I don't know if I even want to say this just in case I'm wrong, but I feel like even PJ was like, yeah, it probably could have been, worded differently. Who knows? I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe PJ didn't say that. But I just like the fact that they had a very, adult conversation about it, and it wasn't like, well, you're the reason we lost, PJ.
And I understand both sides of the argument because it's like it really comes down to like, do you know what year both of these movies came out?
Right.
And when you because it checks all the boxes, and it's like, all right, Bridge of Spies didn't come out that year. It must be the other one that I'm thinking of.
Right.
So it's really just.
So was it a Coen Brothers question, or was it more of a movie release dates question?
Yeah.
I think was one of the talking points.
Yeah, because like usually when you see like directors or director categories, it's usually like they directed the movie, asking questions. So it's really like, okay, they wrote it. So is that technically should that be?
Is it a director's question?
Is it a director's question, or is it like you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
no, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
They're asking. Oh, I mean,
because when you go because Korruption ends up stealing that point,
right?
Because apparently Chance Allison knew it off the bat, so it's like maybe again, it's all perspective, it's all like subjective to like, all right, whatever.
But you just saying that out loud right now, when we were like, oh, but they didn't direct it, it's not a director. It was a Coen Brothers question. It wasn't a director's question.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
But you know what I mean? Usually when like if Spielberg's on the wheel, you don't really get writers' questions for Spielberg.
About Spielberg. Yeah, it's true.
So
that's a good point.
That's one of the arguments I would
I feel like
forth.
Andrew.
He has some good points.
He defended his point, I think, very eloquently on Backstage. So if you want to get a real deep dive on that, check out Backstage from last week.
And from anything you learn from this, challenge the question. You might not. You might be going in like, we're not going to win this challenge, but just challenge it anyways.
Unless you're Ken Napzok, and then you say, no, don't challenge it.
Yeah.
So after round 2, it's 24-26 in favor of Korruption. Going into round 3, the family goes first.
Yes.
Their 2-pointer was biopics.
Yes.
McQueenie took it. I probably would have picked Andrew Guy to take it if I was the manager, but it is what it is.
Because it was a very easy 2-point.
He got who's Walk the Line about.
Yeah.
Even I know that.
Yeah, seriously.
So obviously they got it. Korruption. It should have, it bounced back to Korruption. Their 2-pointer was action adventure. Mike took it. He got a Bond question. Who plays Bond in Only Live Twice and Diamonds Are Forever?
Oh, I know.
Sean Connery. Nobody's surprised that he got that.
Yeah. Goes back.
3-point. It bounces back to the family. Horror.
Horror. We're not going to have this argument again.
Andrew Guy took it. Who's the lead in Unsane? First of all, never even heard of this
I've never
movie.
heard of this movie.
He missed it, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I think Drew actually knew his question.
he
So
did.
it really would have benefited had they switched this because arguably, I don't, it's like, not.
Oh, no, I know where you're about to go with this.
No
Oh,
disrespect
I think you're...
to Guy. Like, you always give the quote unquote weaker opponent the 2-pointer.
Which is a touchy thing to say because Andrew Guy is a fantastic
Yeah,
player.
yeah, no.
However, when you're talking about Drew McWeeny,
Yeah, give him the 3. And in this situation, it would have benefited because
it actually like physically hurt me for you to say that.
yeah, I know.
Even though I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but like Guy knew the 2-pointer. McQueenie knew the 3, so they would have they would have gone that way. Would have been a different story.
It would have ended up a bit different, probably. So it goes to their 5-pointer.
Yes,
they got Scorsese. Yes, known stan of Marvel movies. They got Who Plays Judas in The Last Temptation of the Christ. They pulled it real good, if you know what I'm saying. So then it bounces back to the family. They get 3-pointer. They get their comedy. Chance obviously has it. Who plays the Bulgarian in Game Night? He gets it.
Yeah.
Their 5-pointer is about, sports. Who plays Ben Chapman in 42? Didn't even know that was a movie. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
But
they try to play coy and...
Yeah, they tried to, do I know
like,
it? Do I not know it?
You knew because like right after, even before the question got finished being asked, they're like, Chance, like, oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah.
So no big surprise.
Yeah,
they got it. Ended up 31-36 Korruption.
Yeah,
Chance almost had a perfect game. The only question he missed, if I'm not mistaken, was that bonus. That bonus question,
yeah.
So yeah, it was a really good match. Mike, like we said, started a little shaky in round 1, started waking up in round 2, started being the Mike that we're used to seeing. In the post-game interviews, just like in the intros, Shannon was still trying to antagonize Guy a lot. Like, even throughout the match, in the post-interview, she was like, oh, he's, what's his new nickname? Debutante? Saying that he's like a spoiled, entitled brat or whatever.
Yeah.
I respect her trying to do what she's doing. I get what she's doing.
Yeah.
Mike calls out the Founding Fathers.
Yeah, because they're going up against them next, so.
Yeah. So I guess it's not really a call out because they're going to face each other. But Mike is so good on the mic. You know what I mean? He said he was originally against having IG slices on the wheel in a singles or teams match, but now he's all about it.
Yeah, because now he gets a big advantage. Sorry about our dog.
Dog flapping her ears again. That's
but yeah, so like
she's known for.
We'll touch on this after we get to the family's post-match interview.
Let's all put a pin in that with the IG slices on. And the other thing that was interesting is that Mike said that the crowd in Orlando is what made them lose, which I take personal offense to, but whatever, let's move on.
Hey, sometimes the crowd gets...
That's part of a live event.
It's part of a live event. Something affects other competitors more than the other.
Orlando's just, on another level or something. I don't know why the Schmoedown hasn't come back.
Come back to Orlando, please.
Please, I'll take Tampa too. I don't even care. So, actually, another thing that happened is that Mike challenged Guy to a match in Houston,
which is being postponed now.
That is.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to be the main event or the undercard. I imagine they're going to be in the undercard.
I don't know, but the note that I have in here is that could have been Tampa. That's what I'm saying. I don't even feel bad for you, Houston. You're just postponed, not canceled. Whatever. Let's move on.
So the family's post interview. This is where all the fireworks start to happen. Really?
Oh, yeah. So, I believe Guy was on the mic first.
Yes.
And he's just, talking about the match and rightfully disappointed and whatever. And then McQueenie gets on the mic.
Yeah.
And retires.
Yeah. He's like, you guys can do this yourself.
You can do this without me.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And on backstage. Okay. So in that moment when that happened, Andrew and I were like, what? What just happened? Like, we were there.
It happened so quickly.
We were there live when Guy retired.
Yeah.
Retired.
Quote,
Can you hear my air quotes? We were there live when Guy retired, and we were like, what?
What happened?
watching this when McQueenie retired, we were even still, we were like floored.
Yeah.
But when we watched backstage, Guy mentioned that he was actually told before the match, hey, dog flapping her ears again.
Sorry.
That's one of her greatest hits. That he was told, I don't think he specified by who. I think he actually might have said he was told by the powers that be.
Yeah.
That, hey, man,
if you guys
lose,
yeah.
your partner's out of here. He's retiring, which is like, God, what a cross to bear.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, and I think this, knowing that information, is basically McQueenie was going to play until he lost. And this was going to happen eventually, so like he was waiting to if and when they lost, he was just going to retire.
Yeah.
And for all we know, it's not because he's tired of the game. It's just something's happened.
No. I think Guy actually said on backstage, he said something about being happy for McQueenie.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Roka that was like, well, can you give us more details? And Guy was kind of like, no, it's not really my place. I'm not really at liberty, but I'm happy for him.
So like maybe something with job opportunities,
something
or
family, something job,
something personal life,
something obviously personal.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy to hear that it's something positive.
Yes,
and not
negative.
just that he's disheartened or something by the Schmoedown or whatever. I'm genuinely happy to hear that it's something good.
Yeah.
I'm really upset to see him go.
Yeah, and it sucks. This is the first match back in season 7. It's like, all right, well, peace out, guys. It's like, jeez, I want to see more of it.
It's not like they got demolished.
Yeah, it's
at
like
all.
it was a close game.
It was a close game. It was a competitive game.
Yeah.
I really do think the family had a really big shot.
Yeah, they
at
did.
A run.
They did. So yeah, and it just begs the question: who is Guy's partner going to be now?
And I believe on backstage somebody actually threw out Atchity. If we're talking people to choose from on the usual suspects alone.
Well, yeah, either that or they pick up another player and then match them with Andrew Guy.
Right, but do they have any extra slots, or are they fully maxed out?
No, because Drew's out, so they have that extra slot that
yeah, actually, you're right. That is pretty logical.
Actually, you see.
Well, you see, if one person leaves, then it's an open slot. Yes, that's a great point, my dear. I've never said that before.
Don't
that
call
was
me that.
weird. Sorry,
That's
guys.
weird.
I'm sorry you were here to witness that. But yeah, somebody threw out Atchity, which you never know, because Atchity knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He might not be quite as savvy strategy-wise, but Andrew Guy will be there to boot him right in the keister. Family-friendly words.
Friendly.
Andrew Guy would be like, no, you shut your mouth right now.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So,
which is weird because like I heard somewhere that they're trying to get Ashley with Janine. So,
which could also be another great, I
mean, the sky's the limit for the partnering people up. So,
but
we'll see what
I
happens.
would like to say that on the usual suspects, that the family was probably their flagship team. If
yes,
I'm going to
they're
just
the
be honest,
first round pick.
They're the first round. Andrew Guy was literally the first round pick. Am I right? So, I feel like first priority is probably going to be like, well, what do we do with Andrew Guy? Who do we put with him?
Yeah.
That's probably the first priority.
Yeah. I would actually, now that we said all that out loud, Andrew Guy and Janine would be a pretty good team.
Potentially,
that would be a pretty potential team, because it's not a matter of like just matching two big people together. It's a lot of like
chemistry.
Well, not only that, but like blind spots. Like, what does she know? What does she not know?
True.
What does Andrew Guy know? And I think matching either Ashley with either of them would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because both Janine and Andrew Guy know the game really well.
Yeah.
So they can balance that out with him, and he has all these other like obscure movie categories that he knows.
Yeah.
That can fill the gaps with both of those players. So whichever way that usual suspects decide to go would be fantastic.
Yeah. Or, we somehow figure out a way to get him into the FinStock Exchange and maybe just, rekindle the flames of team action. Who knows? But that means we got to get rid of who's
the boss is
which makes me sad.
Has a really good, the way that Riley is playing right now. Don't touch that team.
Oh yeah, no.
The way those two are playing, don't even touch that team. Let them go on a run.
Anyways, we're not talking about that match. Yeah. Let's move on to a fantastic match.
Oh no, because we got to talk about the slices, because that's what we were postponing.
Right, yeah, let's do that. I guess.
So this has been talked to death on backstage on SCN. The fact that they're putting IG slices into singles and teams division,
yes,
is it changes the game because I hear Christian's argument of like, well, now you get to see a possibility of somebody like Chandru had no place in the singles division because he's an IG player.
Right.
But you put these wheel slices in on the wheel. Now he's like, oh, he can try to swing it in the first round, but
well, I think it's a little bit of a stretch, but okay.
Yeah, but then say he lands on that IG category, blows through that. Or or his opponent lands on opponent's choice, gives him Middle Earth, which a lot of singles players not that great in Middle Earth.
However,
so it's a really clear advantage for those IG players. But
for IG players that also play in singles like Mike Kalinowski, if you take somebody who is purely an IG competitor, they're not going to have a run in singles because of that.
That'd be like me going into singles, like, all right, I'm going to put Star Wars on the wheel every time and hope. I mean, it's not like I know nothing about movies. I know enough about movies to be, because I'm a movie guy.
But one round is not going to make a game.
No, because one round, if I hit Star Wars, and if I want to rely on Star Wars, I can't rely on 100% of the time.
But like even an IG competitor who is strictly IG,
exactly.
Even if they got spinner choice and their opponent got opponent's choice, one round is not a match make. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're Mike Kalinowski or Chance Ellison. Unless you're somebody who's a blended player playing in more than one division, it's not going to be that much of a swing. But one thing that I'm not sure of, and maybe you are, I heard or read somewhere that, okay, let's say in that Korruption family match, I'm going to go ahead and assume that DCEU was put on by Kalinowski.
Yes, I can almost,
when you put an IG slice like DCEU on the wheel in a team's match, or a singles match for that matter, are you getting IG level questions or are you getting singles and teams level questions?
Singles and team level question,
which is garbage.
And that Jeff Snider question absolutely proves that.
Yes,
because it wouldn't be fair to put them on there and then like ask IG level questions, which is ridiculous because again, to spin on the thing, like, you can bring IG players in, you give them easier questions that gives them the possibility of competing in the division. But if you do it the same, it's like, all right, so you put the IG level thing on there, it's IG questions. Then the singles players that are in there is like, well, because Andrew Guy argued this too. He's like, you like people that are in the IG have been studying these movies for however long they've been alive.
And it's a very smaller subset than the singles
Exactly.
pool.
So they already have all this knowledge up on all the other regular competitors. And on top of that, we're adding new categories to the singles and teams division. So now all these singles competitors not only have to study these new categories, now they got to brush up on IG categories. Now they got to study
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, exactly. So you're on top of the new categories. You're putting all these IG categories, and to put IG level questions would be ridiculous to me.
It's a double-edged sword because I feel like if you're allowing IG, I totally understand the rationale behind putting IG slices on the wheel
because they're movies.
Because they're still movies. Somebody was like, putting IG slices on a singles wheel is fine because they're all still movies. But you cannot put a singles category on an IG wheel because it's not IG.
It's not a two-way street.
So it's not a two-way street. But, you're starting to play with fire a little bit because while it's totally fair, because yes, Middle Earth, they're still movies. But it's like, if you put an IG category on a singles or a team's wheel and you make them not IG level questions, you are just giving that IG player, you are handing them round two potentially. But I guess my counter argument to myself would be that you have a 1 in 12 chance of even spinning that? Or 2 if there's opponent's choice on the wheel. So you have like a 1 in 6 chance, which, I guess is fair enough.
But my argument to that is,
Did you say opponent's choice or spinner's choice? You all know what I meant.
But look, my argument to that is like, all right, so you're giving these IG players like Kalinowski who compete in multiple divisions, and Dan Murrell's about to be one of these competitors to where, now they have an upper hand on the other opponents. Same argument can be said like Drew McQueenie, good at 80s movies. You put 80s on the wheel, that's an advantage he has over other competitors because he knows 80s movies just as well as an IG player knows the IG categories.
A valid argument.
So it's I see the argument of like, yeah, you put it on there because they're movies, but my argument is that like you need to now that you're having these on there, this is the ridiculous balancing act now. It's like, do you make them Zach, who directed Justice League level question, which is round 1 difficulty in my opinion, or you need to appropriately make the difficulty so it's not so difficult for singles competitors, but it's not like hey, just give them the points for IG players. And my other argument is that like you should, if you are gonna be bringing IG categories into singles and teams, leave it to if you're gonna choose one of those, you're only allowed one. Because if Mike Kalinowski comes in and says, all right, I'm going to put...
DCU and James Bond.
Yeah, DCU, James Bond, or DC and Marvel. It's like, well, now like you have more of a chance to land on those.
And also, if you have spinner's choice on the wheel, now he's got 3 out of 12
exactly.
chances.
So I think you should limit it to 1. You're only allowed 1 if you're going to choose those. Or
it's a quarter of the wheel, right?
Yeah.
Math.
Or or like in any match, any singles or teams match, there's only allowed to have 1 IG level IG category on the wheel at all times.
Because theoretically it would be a gimme category.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I really step back and think about it, it really would not be fair to put IG level questions on a wheel.
Yeah.
If I'm really going to be honest.
Yeah, if that's the case, why have the IG division at all?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just it would be such a huge handicap.
Star Wars and IG are a perfect example of that. Star Wars is on the IG wheel.
But they are not Star Wars level questions.
Because if they start putting Star Wars level questions in IG, what's the point of having the Star Wars division? You know what I mean? So that was deep.
Yeah.
So those are my thoughts on it. I don't disagree with people saying, oh, they shouldn't have them on there at all. It's like,
nope, they're still movies.
They're still movies.
They're still movies.
It's not a two-way street. You can't put singles on in IG or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just think they need to appropriately make the questions.
Measure the questions, which is easier said than done.
I know it is.
Because everybody's always going to complain about something about questions, no matter what.
I just think that Zack Snyder thing is absurd. It's absurd that was asked.
Yeah.
Especially, like, you put that on, and even in just a general singles division with non-IG players, like, oh, yeah, I saw the movie, I saw the credits, it's Zack Snyder. When it's an no duh type of question, those questions really shouldn't be. Yeah. No duh questions should not be in the second round for any division.
Right.
Because it's, they're already sort of like making the first round questions for all divisions a little easier now, I've noticed. Because there's a lot of people are getting more perfect rounds because it seems that the first round is already being a little too easy now. So all the no duh questions, quote unquote, are in the first round. No more of those in the second round. You shouldn't. I was actually upset. Are you kidding me? Really, Zack Snyder? That's not even that's less than a first round question.
Yeah.
So
but I guess the draw of being able to have IG levels, IG slices on the wheel.
Yeah.
Maybe the incentive is,
maybe get your IG competitors into.
Maybe you cross division compete. Maybe brush up on your IG.
But my argument to that is, do you really want to see somebody like Chandra come in the singles division and just get knocked out because it's like, oh, I have a chance of getting a wheel slice?
I think it's more realistic for someone from singles or teams to go into IG than the other way around.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So, maybe it's more incentive to brush up on your geeky categories that way.
Yeah, maybe you discover that you're actually good.
It could be your ace in the hole. Like, wow, I'm really good at Middle Earth.
Yeah.
And nobody else knows it. Let me just secretly brush up on it. I'll put it on my wheel.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point too.
Hope I get it or hope they get it.
Yeah, so I think bottom line is we have no problem with IG slices on singles and teams. Just make the questions not so easy.
It's just so much easier said than done to be like, well, make the questions a little harder.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done because as we've seen in live chats and even post-game chats, there's always going to be people like, I knew that before they even finished the question. Like, there's always going to be those people. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on.
Let's go and move on. We've already, we're already like 40 minutes in and we have 2 more matches to go over.
Okay. The experiment versus final exam. Let me go ahead and check myself before I wreck myself.
Yeah,
because last week I definitely misspoke. We knew that the final exam was Lon and Oyama.
Yes.
But last week I was like, yeah, the experiment is, Vinny Mancuso and somebody else. I don't know, because I think that's the Butcher Boys, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I think Christian had mentioned them.
Yeah, I think that's who Silvestrini and Goddard are going against.
Maybe. Maybe I just got Goddard on the brain or something. I don't know. But
you trying to tell me something?
He's got good streams, I guess. But I guess I was thinking about whenever that was.
Yeah.
And so I guess Christian was talking about the Butcher Boys on SEN, and that was just what's stuck on my brain. But I was definitely wrong. The experiment is Mark Hoyk and Elliot Dewberry. Which, interesting combination. Yeah. So the experiment, Hoyk and Dewberry, they represent Korruption. Mm-hmm. We got Final Exam. Lon and Oyama, they're representing Swag Squad. Yes. So, pre-scene match. Paul is kind of like spreading his wings. Yeah. And he leaves behind his signature jacket.
It's like Spider-Man leaving behind his suit when he's giving up on being Spider-Man.
I guess. He's still prime time.
Still prime time, just a different type of prime time.
He's just evolving.
A little less of an edge to him, a little less of a heel.
A little looser?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So for the promos, as, keeping consistent with the promo scene, or not promo scene. Well, maybe. I don't know. Pre-match scene. Oyama had no more sunglasses, no more jacket. Lon is obviously no longer the professor. He is now the delinquent.
This is the best character we've gotten in a long time.
Can we talk candidly about how amazing Lon is?
God, if you watch this match if you're not in it for the trivia, but you're in it for the stories and the characters, this is a prime
Watch
example.
It for Lon Harris.
Oh my God, I loved it. Because like Christian said as much, like I'm a prime example of like Lon Harris not going. What is the term? Getting over or.
Oh, going over with the fans?
Going over, yeah. I'm a prime example of that. I really never got that character. You loved Lon Harris's like professor character.
I think Lon Harris, I thought he was hilarious. Because before we watched this match, I'm like, oh yeah, Lon Harris is hilarious. Yeah. And Andrew was like,
I really don't see it.
Really? I don't see it. And I'm like, do you follow him on Twitter? And he's like...
No, I was talking pure Schmoedown though. Like,
well, I'm talking the big picture, baby. Because I go, do you follow him on Twitter? And Andrew's like,
I do.
Yeah, I do. I'm like, okay. Do you actually read his tweets?
I don't read.
And he goes, I don't read. Lon has humor that I vibe with. And so I was like, oh, I'm all on board for this. I was thinking that when we saw that last promo with him with the flask and, Winston trying to bring him back, I was kind of figuring that he would somehow transition back into the professor. I could not be happier that he's leaning into this delinquent thing.
Love this character. Like, this is like the moment where everybody's gonna like, oh, yep, Lon's my new favorite character.
Lon is a star.
Lon's a star. He from like just one match went over with the fans so hard. Like, it is unreal how people are responding to this character.
I almost want this to be a nominee for Match of the Year just because of the birth of the delinquent.
Oh my God. Moment of the year. I'd be happy with moment of the year.
Oh my God. He tells kids, don't try, because you're probably not going to get your dreams. You're not going to reach your dreams anyway. And, effort sounds lame.
Can we beat these guys without trying?
Oh my God.
So I like it when he has the headphones in. He's like, what?
Oh God. He's a genius. He's
amazing. Are you chewing gum?
It's not gum. So during the intros, for the experiment, Elliot obviously seemed very out of place.
Yeah.
That is something of note. Mm-hmm. So we get to the promos. Lon's a star. We get to round one.
Yeah.
I just like how one of the categories was crime movies. And Mark Ellis, I think, said something Lon Harris is very familiar with. And Lon was like, you can't prove anything.
So good. It's so good. It's like Lon is one of those people that very rarely breaks character. Yes. And he did so well in this match.
I don't feel like he broke at all.
Fire. He was on fire, both trivia and character-wise. Yeah. Oh my God, it was so perfect.
One of the answers was Snatch. Lon very appropriately giggled and laughed.
He did that in his post interview too.
So good. So good. So Hoyk, Oyama, and Lon all got perfect rounds.
Yeah. This is a fantastic match, by the way.
God. Apart from character work,
Yes.
it was
Oh my God.
a good match,
This
just
is
down to its bones.
This is one of those matches where, like, if you want to truly introduce somebody to the movie Trivia Schmoedown, I would absolutely show somebody
probably.
this match
Yeah, that's a good point.
because you have awesome trivia, fantastic character work,
Yeah,
like hilarious like puns and like trash talk. It's so good.
so good. So Oyama and Lon, they both got the bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that by the end of the first round, it was 14-18 in favor of Final Exam.
Yes.
Final Exam being Lon and Oyama, just to
Mm-hmm.
keep everything clear for everybody because I'm still having trouble. So round 2, the experiment goes first. They got opponent's choice, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
But they ended up doing really well in this category, right? No? I can't
so
remember.
they were saddled with young adult adaptations, which
Mm-hmm.
what does that even mean?
It was like
Is it like a new way to say coming of age?
No. It's like Hunger Games.
Never seen it.
Twilight.
Never seen it.
Those
me
type of
again.
movies.
Well,
I think the Maze Runner's in there. Those type of
what?
movies. The Maze Runner.
Never heard of it.
It's those ones that are adapted from young reader novels.
Sounds lame. So round
there's some-
2, the
Hunger
experiment.
Hunger Games is pretty good until the last couple movies.
You saw Hunger Games?
Yeah, I saw all of them.
I volunteer as tribute.
Hey, don't hate.
My name is Katniss, and I shoot a bow and arrow. Am I a good movie?
Maze
now?
Runner was pretty good. The Divergent series is in there. That one
Never
just
seen it.
tanks. Oh my god.
I bet it did.
Oh yeah, no, they didn't even release the last couple of movies. I don't think.
Yeah, well, not surprised.
Yeah, no, because they're garbage.
The experiment, they go to multiple choice 1, 2, 3, 4 times, according to my notes. They missed 3 out of 4.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So no, it didn't go well.
Okay, yeah.
So they got one of the multiple choices. Wait, no. Yeah, no. Don't listen to me. They got one of the multiple choices right. They missed 3. 2 of those 3 misses were stolen by Final Exam.
Yeah.
So, probably not the best second round that
Yeah.
they could have hoped for.
Oh, I was God. Well, now I'm having trouble. I thought you were talking about Final Exams.
I don't know why I can't keep things straight in my head. So that was the experiment. That was Dewberry and Hoyk.
Okay, now I remember. Yeah.
Dewberry and Hoyk got that young adult adaptations. Multiple choice 4 times. Got 2 of the questions stolen.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
So then the Final Exam, which is Lon and Oyama,
Yeah.
they get, they also got opponent's choice?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
They were given 90s.
Yeah. Which I think this is where I thought that they navigated it pretty well.
They navigated it better.
Yeah.
So they went to multiple choice twice, it looks like. They missed 1. Experiment stole 1. They went to multiple choice. They got it.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I guess Shannon came on the stage and Lon was like, "Who's that? Is she working?"
Oh, it was when they spun him
I
one
thought
choice.
trivia was for bars. Like, it probably, if you haven't watched this match, it's probably like,
God.
"Hey, guys, this sounds pretty lame."
It's so good. It's
Trust
so
me,
good.
Watch it. If you haven't watched it, please do us both a favor and watch it, because Lon is just, he's just a national treasure. So by the end of round 2, it's 20-30 in favor of Final Exam. Again, that is Lon and Oyama. So round 3, I took a lot of notes on Lon. After the experiment picked their 3 numbers, Lon just quipped, "That's my locker combination." So
Oh my god! Really quick? Can I say that I don't think the professor persona really allowed him to really
flourish,
to flourish,
shine.
yeah, and really showcase his
Humor.
humor, yeah.
And I bet
think
a lot
this
of
one-
people took the professor, and I bet a lot of people were like, "All right, this is old."
I think I
I
think
enjoyed it,
I was
personally.
one of those I really don't get this character, but this one really allows him to quip after quip. He's really quick.
He's just
he's
spreading
very
his
quick.
wings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a genius. So the experiment goes first. 2 points. They gave it to Dewberry. He gets famous actors and actresses. He got a Nightmare on Elm Street question. He gets it.
Yes, it was Johnny Depp.
That's right.
Yeah. It was what was his debut or something like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was the question.
You're probably right. The 3-pointer obviously goes to Hoyk. Action adventure, something about the raid. He gets it.
Yes.
5-pointer, spy movies.
Oh, yeah, this is
Something
a rough
about
category.
something called Syriana, whatever that is. So they missed it.
Yeah.
So it's a TKO, 25-30 in favor of Final Exam.
Yes.
Lan and Oyama. So
Yeah. Great match.
Great match.
Character knowledge wise, it's such a good match.
Character work was just wow.
Oh my god! And now when I'd say Final Exam is another team like Deep 13.
Oh, I
absolutely
think so.
There's so many good teams now.
Yeah, Winston.
So
he did a great job.
He did a great job
team.
matching these two up.
Oh my goodness, they are definitely someone that can contend.
And another thing I think that this character switch for Lon does, it allows him to be looser.
Yeah.
I felt he was a little too uptight with the professor, and he ended up, because I think the crowd really gets to him.
I think that a perfect example of what you just said was
Cody
Lon and Cody Hall.
Yeah. I think that character really didn't have the fans on his side, and you can, and
it was palpable.
He played tighter than he usually did. This character allowed him to be looser, that he had the fans on his side.
Relatable.
More relatable. And now the crowd is on his side, and it affects him in a positive way. So now he's able to pull the answers out quicker, easier, and he's able to play looser, which I think being loose, it's beneficial. And now this team is. Their first match together, TKO, they worked together really well.
Yeah.
So look out for Final Exam, man.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah.
So and that was corroborated by Paul, because in the post match interview, Paul said, Jen asked him how he's feeling. He says, I'm feeling good. And I think he actually said that Lon's energy kind of helped him.
Yeah.
Because he also had a not great end to the last season with, the savaging with Mr. Bateman.
Yes.
So, I'm sure it does feel good to start your season with a TKO and with a promising teammate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can imagine how that feels.
No shade to Zipper. Zipper's a great guy, I'm sure. I never really met him.
I mean, he made some really good improvements, but to be partnered with somebody that could clearly pick you up when you're down with Lon Harris, that's fantastic.
And Lon, he goes, I just try to get all the answers right. Not very hard. And Winston just kind of, his insight was that they both have gaps that they fill for each other.
Lon's giggling.
And Lon's like, oh, yeah, raising my eyebrows. Filling gaps.
Oh, my God.
Which Winston was making a good point. And then there goes the delinquent himself. Nice gap filling.
Lon has become one of my favorite competitors now.
Oh my God, Lon.
He went from being like I don't care for this character. I wish he would stop it, and I don't see the hype behind he's quick.
Lon's a genius.
And he just leaped my top 10 favorite characters, top 5. I would argue.
Oh no, Lon's
so good now.
A treasure. The experiment. Their post-match interview went a little bit more in an awkward direction.
Oh, yeah.
Hoik, he called Elliot, instead of Elliot Dewberry, he called him Elliot Dinkleberry. A very funny word. He said that Elliot kind of wrote Final Exam a blank check with opponent's choice and blew their chance for a double perfect round in round 1.
Yeah.
Since everybody got a perfect round except for Elliot. Jen made a comment that Elliot looks like he's being held at gunpoint, to which Elliot responded, well, there's no guns, but that's the vibe. Yeah.
I think everybody just wants to see the Wild Bears back together. And I don't think
that's a no-brainer.
And I don't think Shannon is going to allow that to happen.
Well, she might for the right price.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's probably exactly why she drafted him.
Yeah.
Because Shannon, she might not be having the best beginning.
Yeah. I mean, the only win they have is a Korruption match. Am I correct?
I think so.
Yeah, that's the only. And she's had what? She had Bonnie Somerville lost, Klee lost, and now the Experiment lost.
Yeah.
So she's 1-3 this season, which is not the best. Oops, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Wowie.
Very popular over here. Oh. Wow. Must be nice.
Spam calls, please. But yeah, it's you look at the landscape right now. Korruption and the Dungeon aren't doing that great.
Yeah, and I would say that it's still the beginning of the year.
Still the beginning of the season. We'll see. You'll see how it shapes out.
I remember on backstage, Rocco was like, "Really? Is it though?" I think he said we're a quarter of the way through the season or something.
Yeah.
So he was like, we can't really say that much anymore, but I think somebody recently put out, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it was Frankie or somebody else, somebody recently put out team standings, and it kind of showed how many matches each team has played.
Yeah.
And it is a little lopsided. The Finstock Exchange has played more matches
Yes, yeah.
than other teams, admittedly. So obviously, if you're going to have more points,
Yeah,
if you have
and-
more opportunities to get points.
And it's hard to like judge like where we are in the season based off of like how many games each team has played, because it's not like, you know, football or any other sport where it's like every week every team plays.
Right.
It's like, all right, maybe the family plays all the matches in one day, and then we don't see them again for another couple of weeks.
Right.
So it's weird to see where we're at.
And stuff happens because they were scheduled to play. Andrew Guy gets sick.
Yeah.
Life
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, you know, where the free for all is supposed to happen, or he's supposed to happen, then coronavirus.
Wow, coronavirus.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
guys.
it's just really hard. Like, yeah, it might seem that the Finstock Exchange is like a quarter of the way into the season because we played so many matches already.
Yeah.
But when you look at somebody like
the Rockstars.
the Rockstars only played 2.
Yeah.
Swag has played 3, 2 or 3.
I don't know.
You know,
But there's other teams that just
yeah, we'll see.
have not played
we'll
as many
see where we're
matches.
at. I think Collision would be a good place to where all the teams at once the Collision happens. It's like, all right, so everybody's had so many matches under the belts. We'll see where where everybody's at during the
Yeah,
standings.
absolutely.
Because there'll be multiple titles have been on the line, multiple matches and number one contender matches have happened.
Because
So
right now, while it could be argued that we're probably past the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
arguably.
but we have yet
But
to see so many matches.
We've yet to see a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And admittedly, other factions have played a couple more than other factions. So
Exactly.
we still got a long ways to go.
Yeah.
Third match.
Oh my God.
Erwin versus Sneider.
Yes.
Erwin, of course, representing the Burning Droogs. And Sneider representing the Rockstars.
Yes. And we both had
We both picked
Erwin.
Ethan Erwin.
yes.
In the opening scene, which was enjoyable, we saw Christian and Clark. Christian has the tub that has all the free-for-all numbers in it.
yeah.
Clark takes it because, I'm the commissioner. Let me take all
Clark
the
is
numbers.
really good in these cutscenes, and Harloff too. But we very rarely see him in cutscenes anymore.
Yeah. So Clark takes all the free-for-all numbers. She gets bombarded by competitors wanting their numbers right then and there.
Yeah.
Zipper comes up to her. Janine comes up to her. Craig with the Barbarian comes up to her with Elvis. And
I want another one.
He wants one for Elvis, which is ridiculous. Dagnino asks for a number.
Like, you're a manager. You're not competing. What are you doing?
Kalinowski asks for a number. And then Bibiani asks for a number. Guy asks for a number. And can I just say, I am highly offended by this opening scene because I take offense to the fact that Guy walked in with Snickers and they were like, whoever was manning that camera was like, oh, let me pan down the Snickers for a second. Back up to Guy. Oh, pan down the Snickers for a second. Back up to Guy. Give me a wider shot so I can look at Snickers the whole time. Am I right, ladies? Like,
You're the one that always bombards Guy in his streams. Like, I want to see Snickers.
he hasn't streamed in a while because I think the Clash Royale season is on, a lull right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm one of many that asks to see Snickers all the time. I'm not the only one. But,
You should just start doing that in Action Industries streams. It's like, hey, I want to see Snickers. Where's Snickers?
I really do want to see Snickers more. But
We met Snickers in person.
oh, that's the ironic thing is that when we went to that last taping,
We met his girlfriend.
I met Snickers. I played with Snickers a lot. I met Andrew Guy's girlfriend. Didn't meet Andrew Guy. But I played with Snickers a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That dog almost took me down. At one point, he's like walking around me and he tied my legs up in his leash, like a couple loops around my legs. And I almost like fell over. And oh, man, it was great.
Yeah.
Good times. All I'm saying is that I wish they would have included Snickers more in that intro. But, whatever. I'm not the producer or whatever. So.
And poor Bibiani gets yelled at by Clark.
Poor Bibiani. We'll see.
Do you
if
think
he
he'll
gets
be number one again? Because he said so be it. Because
Yeah.
from what I hear, last free for all, he volunteered to be the first one out.
Which, I
That's
would not even
crazy.
be surprised.
That's crazy.
I feel like part of me is like, no, it needs to all be up to chance.
Yeah.
But then another part of me is like, if you want to volunteer to be number one,
Yeah.
then go ahead.
Because I think a couple of them, I think that's how it is up to chance. But then a couple of them, I think they made what was his name, Sheridan, come out in a later round because they knew he wasn't going to do much, but they wanted to build up to it.
Yeah.
And then obviously I think I think if you volunteer to be number one or go quickly, I think they're like, all right, go ahead.
If you got big ones enough to volunteer for number one, then you know what,
Bibiani backed it up. He went all the way to the end.
Yeah, man.
Came in second.
If I was Christian and Bibiani came up to me again, like, hey man, I want to be number one again, all right, go ahead.
Fine, man.
Here's your golden ticket. So Sneider walks out with Roxanne and Draco.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan walks out with Robert Meyer Burnett and his Ethan Erwin doll that his wife made for him. We were there when he got that doll.
Wait, his wife made that for him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I did not know that.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought somebody, like a fan, made it for him or something.
No, I thought he said that his wife made it. And he was
wow.
oh, this is my lucky charm now. Spoilers for the match. But I thought he said that his wife made it.
I might have missed
Because
that.
that night that we were there with them, I think was when he got it, right?
Yeah.
Remember walking to the bar and he had it with him?
Yeah, we ran into him on the street with Dagnino
like,
and
hey, we know that guy.
yeah, and we were with who we were with. We were with Dagnino and Riley.
Yeah, good times. So round
That's the
one.
only time we'll ever be able to do something like this. We'll just walk in the streets with Dagnino, run into Ethan Norwin.
I'll take what I can get. So round one, we had dual perfect rounds.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Crazy.
That's what I'm saying. The round one questions seem to be a little bit easier this season.
Not to take credit away from the competitors.
Yeah, no. But like,
I don't want to be like, well, they got it because they're easier.
Yeah, this is either the competitors are brushing up on their trivia, or the questions aren't as difficult as they were in previous seasons. Because we've had perfect round after perfect round after. I don't think I've ever seen this ever in any of the seasons.
That would be
There's
an
so many
interesting
perfect
stat.
rounds.
Is how many perfect rounds have there been per division per season?
Yeah,
Frankie, jump on it, baby.
Yes, please. I would like to know that number.
So, they both got the bonus question as well, which means that by the end of round one, we had a 9-9 tie.
2 flawless rounds.
Perfectly flawless. Perfecter rounds. So round two, Erwin decides he was, they're tied. He's a higher ranked player. He decides he's going to go first.
Yeah.
He gets Julia Roberts and he's like, all right,
Oh, man.
sure.
Yeah, and this did not go the way he thought.
So his first question did not go to multiple choice. He missed it. A potential 2-point steal. Sneider unable to pull
Is this
it.
the ant bully question?
Ant bully. What is
I've
that?
never
even?
heard of this movie.
Never heard of the ant bully.
I instinctively went, ants?
I instinctively said a bug's life.
Yeah.
Just like Ethan did.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much
Yeah.
right there on the same level as Ethan, if I could say so myself. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But what is the ant bully? I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of this movie.
So he went to multiple choice, looks like once. He did something very interesting.
Like out of character.
So he went to multiple choice. They said choice A. He immediately
Went with that.
went with the first,
it
with
was-
choice A.
and it was incorrect.
Which was incorrect. Sneider, without even skipping a beat, says the correct answer.
Yeah.
The announcers, Mark and Ken, if
Ken.
I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
they're both like, well, let's just remind both competitors to please let us get all 4. And
Yeah.
I asked Andrew, like, what's the point of even, who cares? If they know the answer, who cares? But he's like,
Audio
you got to
listeners.
think about podcast listeners,
Yeah.
audio
because
only.
because from what I haven't listened to a match on audio only, it's vastly different because
Yeah.
you obviously don't get the visuals.
Yeah.
So it's not like they just take the audio from the match and just plop it onto audio form like like some other people do. I don't do that. I mean, I might do that with Going Rogue, but whatever.
Oh, boy.
But they actually edit things around to like more appealing to audio listeners.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, it's like a vastly different experience apparently.
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna try to do that for one and a couple matches. I want to see what it's like. So
To hear the question and not read the question.
yeah,
Much like competitors.
yes, crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, but like that's really really weird that they both jumped the gun. Because like
Weirder for Ethan, not so weird for Jeff. Because
no, I
Jeff
think
was
I
very
think it's weird.
confident.
It's weird for both. It's not out of character for Ethan because I've said this before that Ethan went on that insane run because of his knowledge, not for his gameplay. His knowledge is what got him to the title, not so
Yeah.
much his gameplay.
But the thing that I
And
respect
this is a perfect example
is
of it.
that when they said, "Oh, might we remind both competitors to let us get all the choices out?"
Yeah.
Even Ethan was like, "Yeah,
Yeah, that
probably
would-
would have been beneficial."
Yeah.
So I respect that he could own up to his mistake.
Yeah.
Because had they got all of them out there, he might have gotten it right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have really changed the course of the game.
Yeah, it was 1 point. So
But 1 point could make the game.
Yeah, it could.
So you never know. I mean, we know how this match ends, so we
Yeah.
know it really didn't make any difference. But it could have.
Yes.
1 point could make the difference. Reference the last title shot that we watched.
Oh, yeah.
So, still a sore subject. So Sneider goes.
You just wanted Bateman to win so bad.
I mean, I'm very happy for Dan, but it is what it is.
So bad.
What's done is done. So Sneider goes. He gets mixed bag. He decides to spin again. I definitely can't blame him.
Yeah.
Even more so because he got spinner's choice on the second spin. He goes with Paul Thomas Anderson. Who's that even? Am I right?
Oh my God.
He went to multiple choice once.
Continue. Continue, please.
You could tell me Paul Thomas Anderson. I would be like, what is that, an actor, director? Who is that even? I know I'm not the only one.
Oh, okay. Come on.
He went to multiple choice once, but he got it. He did very well.
Yes, he did very, very well.
So at the end of round 2, 13-17 in favor of Sneider.
Yes.
Not looking great for Ethan. Round 3. Ethan gets his 2-pointer, Disaster Films, something about a film called Pompeii. He gets it. 3-pointer, Action Adventure. Who plays the aging version of Zorro in 98's Mask of Zorro?
I knew that one.
Anthony Hopkins. Didn't know that. He's Hannibal in my heart.
Is Anthony Hopkins Hispanic? I don't think he is.
Excuse me?
I might cut this out.
No.
No, he's not? Okay. Because
Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, he's not, right?
Hannibal Lecter. Can you picture that in your brain?
Yeah.
He's super white.
Yeah, which is weird because he played Zorro. Is Mexican.
I mean, you're right, but Anthony Hopkins didn't he play Thor's dad?
Yes.
Super white.
Ignore me, please. Just I just want to make sure I'm right because it's like it's kind of like
I'm just making sure too.
A little bit of whitewashing by Hollywood.
Well, that's pretty characteristic.
I mean, he played the character really well. It's just come on now.
You're right though to think about Anthony Hopkins playing Zorro is kind of like what?
It's like really.
Could you not have gotten?
Because I think everybody else in that movie's Hispanic.
Could you not have gotten
or Mexican?
I mean,
Antonio Banderas.
My mind kind of went to the guy that played
Jones.
Bail Organa, but he probably wouldn't have been
Jimmy
old
Smits?
enough. Jimmy Smits. He probably would have been old enough. I don't know.
Whatever.
You have a point, but no, he's very white.
I just want to make sure before people just jump on me.
Very white. Don't worry, everybody.
Because you never know. He might be a Roca. looks white, but he's
But
Hispanic.
he's not.
Might be a Goddard. Totally white, but
Also not.
Also not.
So then it goes to the 2-point bounces
I mean,
to Jeff.
you can also just look at his last name. Never mind. Ignore me, people.
Yeah. Probably a good choice.
You might be halfsies. You never know.
You can be half-C. Our daughter's a half-C, so
Yes. Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
To be.
You never know. Ignore me.
half-Cs.
Just
Don't worry about it. Let's move past it. 2-point. Jeff
I'm going to leave
Snider.
that in. I'm not going to cut it out.
2-pointer Jeff Snider. If I had to leave in octo spelled right or wrong, you gotta leave that in. That was pretty embarrassing for me. I was in spelling
I'm
bees.
embarrassed.
Jeff Snider gets Jodie Foster. I love him. Such a good actor. It's a question about something Maverick, Top Gun, I guess. Right? Am I right? He gets it right.
Yeah.
5-pointer. What?
No,
5-pointer for Ethan.
Ethan's
Wow.
5-pointer. Jeff made that mistake too.
Look
at that. You made the same mistake Jeff did. He's like,
crazy.
I thought it was still going.
Yeah. Nah, well, I don't even know. 5-pointer to Ethan about Matthew McConaughey. Who directed McConaughey and Killer Joe? Never heard of it. He got it.
Yeah,
but he really played it like he didn't.
Yeah.
And
this is an example of a player like really playing it up.
even after he
Successfully.
answered it, I'm still not sure if he knew it or
Yeah.
not.
Because even Snyder was like, he dropped a no-no
He dropped
word.
an F-bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Real hard.
Yeah.
And even with Bateman, who's like notorious for doing this, do I know it? Do I not know it? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
By the time he answers it, you're like, okay, all right, he's just Batemaning it.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure if Ethan knew that or not.
Yeah.
Because the way he answered, he was like, I guess it's this, and who knows?
He got
I
it,
guess
man.
the world may never know.
It's a heck of a pull.
But he got it. Bounces back to Snyder for his 3-point, which, it kind of felt like it didn't matter, but it kind of did because, if he got his 3 and his 5, he would have broken a record. So he gets his 3-pointer.
He would have tied the record.
Charlie Sheen, right. Something about Scary Movie, he got it right. So now it all comes down to the 5-pointer. And Jeff Snider does something with this question that I just think is a fatal flaw of Jeff Snider.
Yes, we've seen it several times.
I don't mean any disrespect to the man. I've only like halfway met the man one time in Chicago.
We met him in passing.
That's a good way. In passing, sort of. He had a gaggle of friends with him.
Yeah,
so
we
he was
we
very
actually
protected.
introduced ourselves, but we were in the room with him.
Yeah. So, I mean, no disrespect to the man, but this is just a fatal flaw of his that I don't think it's make or break, but it you know, it'd be nice if it wasn't there. He heard the category of 80s, and just upon hearing the category, he goes, I'm not going to get this.
Yeah, it's like it's over.
It's just so self-defeating and so self-sabotaging.
So quickly, too.
And you just don't expect to see that from somebody that's on a tier
Of
that's,
his
you know,
caliber.
highly regarded as,
Yeah.
you know, Jeff Snider, a member of one of the arguably greatest teams of all time.
Yeah.
You don't expect to see that kind of behavior from somebody in that kind
It's
of
this veteran,
tier.
like a veteran competitor. It's
Yeah.
not like, you know,
If that was me up there and I was like, I'm not going to get it, yeah, take me at my word. I'm not going to get it. But Jeff Snider, it's like,
He's a seasoned veteran.
you are a seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
It's disappointing to see someone beat themselves up like that
Yeah, just-
before it even has happened.
Yeah, throwing the towel just by hearing the category.
Exactly. So he gets 80s. It was about who was the narrator of History of the World, part one.
Yeah.
Was there a part two? Who knows? He used a JTE. He repeated it. He gave an honest effort to, you know, give
Try to
himself
pull
some
it.
time.
Yeah.
He missed it. It's really disappointing to see. And I was kind of almost arguing with myself on this.
Yeah.
To where it's like, well, you know, it doesn't matter if he beat himself up. If it's not in your brain, it's not in your brain.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered if he got in your head or not. It wasn't there.
It
Fact
just
of the
happened to be
matter
in his
is,
blind spot. Yeah.
It just happened to be in a blind spot. But had it not have been in the blind spot, if it was something that he might have been able to pull,
Yeah. And he just resorted to like,
there's a possibility that he might have gotten in his own brain and just kind of clouded his own judgment.
Yeah, and just like
And just, you know, whiffed it.
yeah.
It just so happens that this was something that he had no knowledge of.
Yeah.
I just think it's disappointing to see a player of that kind of caliber hearing a category and just going, I'm not going to get this.
Yeah.
You know?
Resorting to just like almost giving up in that moment because we've seen him give up.
Wasn't it against Oyama?
He almost did, but then Roxy kind of brought him back into it. But the match between him and I think it was Erwin or Bibiani.
Did he already play Erwin? Was this the second time?
No, I'm sorry. So this was Bibiani.
Maybe, I don't know. I just remember him against Oyama.
It was one of these matches. I can't remember who he was playing, but you can see
he
that
just kind of self-destructs a little bit, and it's very disappointing.
Yeah,
to
but
see.
this match I'm referring to, everybody's like, why? What's going on? Why is he giving up? He's just throwing answers out.
I remember what you're talking about. I just don't remember.
I can't remember who it was, but you can clearly see he was just like, I don't know this.
Yeah, whatever. This.
Not even giving it a chance to like think about the question. He just gave up.
He is. Like the guy, hate the guy. He's a veteran of the game.
Yeah.
He's proven his worth.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing to see that kind of thing. And it's kind of like, you're better than this. Don't do that. Do it in your head.
Yeah.
Don't do it in front of everybody, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to sabotage
now this
yourself.
This gives your opponents a little bit of ammunition. Like if I can get in his head, it's clearly going to affect his gameplay.
And also, now everybody knows you're not good at 80s.
Yeah.
So, you know, Drew McQueen, well, too soon.
Oh,
God.
no. Oh,
I
God.
just made myself really sad. Oh, boy. So, had he gotten that 5-pointer, he would have tied the all-time singles record for points scored in a singles match.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, it didn't pan out. But the match ended 22-23. Erwin. Did I just pronounce? I feel like I did not enunciate that. 22-23. Ethan Erwin. I feel like I just kind of like fell asleep for a second.
Yeah.
So Erwin wins. Post-match interviews, Robert Meyer Burnett, he says that he's got the best faction. Even when we're behind, we win.
He's got a sneaky good faction.
He's got a sneaky good faction.
Because we have yet to see, what's his name, compete.
James White.
James White, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be in the free-for-all.
So we'll see how he's going to debut in the free-for-all.
That's a tough debut.
I mean, the questions aren't so difficult.
True, also.
But the crowd, there's no crowd to affect you anymore.
Oh,
so this is
Very
actually
good point.
So this is actually might be to his
It's
benefit.
more like a studio match. That's a great point.
Yeah. So you have no crowd.
Takes the pressure off of any rookies debuting in free for all.
Yeah. So that's a different thing to look at now.
Good job, baby.
But Deep 13, sneakily good team to look out for. Ethan Erwin, obviously a competitor to look out for. I have yet to see. I think that's the only other matches he's had, right? Who else did went up?
I don't know. I need to like keep a notebook of all these matches in front of me or something because I'm just.
But like I'd say the two teams that that like are really for Finstock Exchange to look out for.
Deep 13.
No. Factions.
Oh, factions. Sorry.
So factions to look out for if you're the exchange is the Den.
You just
The Den
Burning Droogs?
and Burning Droogs. And I never thought I'd say that. Because R&B has put together a pretty interesting looking faction, especially after these wins that they've got.
Teams wise,
Deep 13.
Deep 13 is definitely a team to watch out for.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And also teams wise, if we're just talking about this in general, the Den has got Tom and Paul, another team to look out for
and then
once
also,
they start to gel more.
And also the Pride with Silver Strini and Goddard. Goddard is better.
Who we haven't seen yet. We
but-
don't know what
but
their
we
chemistry is going to be like.
I mean, I watch Goddard stream regularly. I don't know about you.
I mean, I'll pop in.
And when he plays these like granted,
he's good.
Granted, these old matches, he's good.
No,
he's very
good.
He's very good.
And I always want, whenever he does get a perfect round, and he's like, "Give me a question, guys. Bonus question."
You have a couple in
I
the tank.
really want to chime in, but I'm like, it's gonna be a dumb question.
Is it the
I have a couple questions in my brain. Like I have a Caddyshack question.
Yeah,
I wanna
don't
ask.
reveal it because I want because
I
he listens
have
to
an
the show.
Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Oh, I know
question
exactly
that I
the
wanna
one you're
ask.
asking for that one.
There's actually like two questions I
Yeah.
could probably get
But
from
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But like I always want to chime in, but you know, it is.
So
what it
I
is.
would say look because Silver Strini is one of those. It's like people are everybody's always saying, including myself, is like underrated.
Silver Strini, criminally underrated.
Criminally underrated. Look at who she like. Yeah, she doesn't have a great record, but look at who she's lost. Like who her losses are against.
Roca.
Yeah, Roca. Like all these top tier competitors. So like I would definitely look out for them, especially with Goddard on the team.
Yeah.
But
I'm interested to see what they do.
yes, I'm very
Watch
interested.
their career with great interest. So in the post-match interview, Roxy assertively asserted that Sneider outplayed Erwin.
Oh yeah,
he just lost.
Absolutely.
And she's right. I
Absolutely.
mean, Sneider missed one question, right?
Yeah.
And Erwin kind of had to navigate his way through Julia Roberts. So
Gave up a couple of mistakes, like rookie level mistakes.
with that jumping the gun, yeah.
Yeah.
He if he had listened to all of the choices, he probably would have gotten it.
Yeah.
So to say that Sneider outplayed but still lost, I think is a fair
It's
statement.
a very fair statement. Yes, absolutely.
She's right.
And that's the game sometimes, you know.
That's the luck of the draw,
Luck of the draw.
unfortunately. And Sneider said he doesn't know Mel Brooks movies because he doesn't watch Mel Brooks movies and he never will. He doesn't like Young Frankenstein. And I am
Oh
offended.
my God. Mel Brooks movies are so great.
I mean, just Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles alone. Cornerstones of
Love
me.
Mel Brooks movies. So good.
But you know what?
Robin Hood
To
Men in Tights
each their
is a
own.
Mel Brooks movie.
Oh,
Hell
yeah. Wow.
A black sheriff?
Look at you. Oh my
Yeah, why
God.
not? I've worked in Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah. Look at you. Wow.
And that's another movie that I've watched several times. I love that movie.
So yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
To each their own. So yeah, that was. Oh, let me, because I know where you're gonna go already. So let me just jump the gun with you.
Yes.
And look up the movie
Next week,
trivia,
I think we have
schmoedownlive.com.
we have an IG match. I think it's Chandru Hannah 3 is next week.
You know, I went to the wrong site again.
Trivia SD. That's
God.
not a thing anymore.
I need
Nicki.
to just. I think last time I even said I can put this in my favorites, and I
Just
sure
bookmark it.
didn't.
Just bookmark the schedules.
So I'm not.
All right. So what do we have coming up?
So next week we got Brandon Hanna, the hot hitman, the hot man,
Hitman.
the hitman, versus Chandru, the chosen one.
And
I'm
Chandru-
hoping it's
Chandru-
Dandapani.
Dandapani, yeah. And that's on Thursday
Monday and Tuesday for Patreon, Thursday for the regs.
for the regs.
And then on Friday, March 20th, you got John Roca versus Paul Oyama,
Ooh,
baby.
coming in hot.
And then that Saturday
Is the free-for-all.
Is the free-for-all. It's just going to be a modified free-for-all.
Yeah, so we're not gonna. Obviously, we can't give our predictions on the free for all.
So yeah, Saturday the 21st will be the live event streaming for the free-for-all, and then it will drop
Yeah.
for everybody on Friday the 27th.
So next week we're gonna be talking about these two matches coming up. So Hannah, Chandru, who do you have?
You know, I feel like this is hard because it's been a minute since we've seen both of them.
It's been longer since we've seen Hannah.
Yes, and maybe it's recency bias, but we saw Chandru
Oh,
to have a great match against Smets.
He took Smets to the limit.
So just because of that recency bias, it's almost hard to not say Chandru. I don't mean to count Hannah out just because of that.
Here's my argument that in singles and teams, maybe that time away from the game kind of hurts you a bit with game rust. But with the divisions like IG and Star Wars, that time away gives you more time to study.
True.
And study time, I would argue, is more crucial to IG and Star Wars because of how deep the questions go. So with that being
That's
said,
an interesting point.
For me, this is a toss-up because this is the third time it's the third time these two are going up against each other. Granted, the first time was in a fatal 5-way.
True.
But they're 1-1 between each other.
Oh, are they now?
Yes. Hannah took it first, and then Chandru beat him the second time, and they went up.
This is a hard one.
So this is a toss-up for me. I can see either one of them edging out each other. I think this is going to be like a two-point match. It's going to come down to last question, last points.
Who do you pick?
Again, that recency bias tells me Chandru. But I said that time away from the game gives Hannah enough time to study and prepare.
So you going with Hannah?
I'm going to go Hannah.
For argument's sake, I'm going to go with Chandru. So let's just, because it's not interesting if we keep picking the same people.
Yeah.
And
so
also
I have
because, Chandru's still fresher in my mind.
Yes.
So we'll see how that pans out, baby.
And, for all we know that, that loss by Hannah under Chandru is, it might, that hunger's there now. Yeah. So, failure, the greatest teacher failure is, as Yoda would say. So,
wow.
Maybe he comes back swinging. Wow. All right. So, Friday's match.
Wise. Roka Oyama.
I mean, you know where we're going.
I mean, it's not going to be hard to pick where we're going with this one.
From my understanding, Roka is on a new level, which is scary.
Yeah.
To hear that his knowledge and his gameplay has been elevated for as long he's been in this game is scary to me.
Yeah.
It is like I didn't know Roka could find another level. And this, because people like Merle and Roka, Riley, those level of players. It's like, we see them at their peaks. So will they ever get to that again? And it's like to say that when
they were in their prime.
Yeah, when they're in the prime. Now it's like that time has passed. Now they're even better than they were before. That's insane to me. So obviously we have Roka.
Obviously we have Roka. And free for all, there's about 100 million competitors.
But we're not going to get into that until the week after it airs.
Yeah.
So I think we're another long episode for you guys to listen to. So we're gonna just go ahead and wrap it up there because we're again running long. So Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
I do things on the internet, mostly on Twitter. At DIMMMYYY Dimmy.
Look for her in the live streams and chats.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Say hi. For me, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA. Follow us on YouTube if you're not listening to this on YouTube, at videosbyandrew.com. Give us a like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon because I go live every Tuesdays for Going Rogue at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking Star Wars, celebrating Star Wars. So if you love Star Wars, join me every Tuesday. Also, join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Andrew and Nicki, Nicki. 4 tiers. We have the recruit, the officer, the captain, and the commander. Oh, and also, like I mentioned before, we have a small little announcement about the Patreon. Our first goal is to 50 patrons. Once we get to 50 patrons, we're going to try to start a general discussion podcast. So spread the word about our Patreon, guys. Once we get to 50, it's a really simple number. 50 patrons, we'll start another podcast with general discussions, not so much just Schmoedown related or Star Wars related, just anything related. So podcasts about nothing, talk about everything. And we also have t-shirts. What? Go to tpublic.com/Andrew and Nicki, same as our Patreon tag. So we have a couple t-shirts, Beyond the Schmoedown t-shirts and Going Rogue t-shirts. So go check those out. Pretty cool designs. Obviously, the designs are by Brian Ward.
Thank you, Brian.
So with that, I think we...
And also, wait, before we go, Christian, are you proud of us? We didn't say any bad words.
Well, we had one. We won, but we're gonna cut it out.
Wow. Way to give me away. Wow, I thought we were supposed to have each other's backs.
So with that, we're just gonna go ahead and wrap it up here on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.